Hey everyone, it's iTalkApple, and today's tutorial is going to be the basics of Automator. Automator is a really useful application that comes installed on your Mac, and a lot of people don't take advantage of it. Maybe they've heard of it, but they don't know what it is or don't know how to use it, or maybe you've never heard of it. But this video will help you. So, before I start, Automator, for those of you who don't know, automates repetitive tasks without having to know any programming knowledge, just your common sense and this video. So you can automate tasks like renaming a large group of files or editing a bunch of images, anything like that. Or you can make really complicated workflows, but I'm not going to go over that in this video. So I'm going to open the application, and it will ask you to choose a starting point. I usually start with custom. And on the side here is your library. The library contains a bunch of actions. Each action performs a task like finding files or resizing images, and they're separated into calendar, contacts, files and folders, etc. Most of my workflows start with get selected finder items. That means that once you have your workflow saved and ready to go, whatever file, folder, picture, video, or whatever is selected, that's what the workflow will apply to. So what is a workflow? A workflow is a bunch of actions combined to perform a specific task. So that's the best way I can tell you. I'll give you an example of a workflow in this video. You can make it if you want to. So here's my first action. So a lot of actions have options. Obviously get selected finder items doesn't really, but you can see a description if you don't understand what it means. So this action gets the selected items and passes them to the following action. Next action that I'm going to use is add effects to images. Just drag that in, and it will ask if I want to add a copy files action, so that way once these images are adjusted, the originals will be preserved. I'm just going to add that. So there you can change where you want the copy to go to, like a specific folder. So here's the add effects to images action, and you can choose from multiple effects. For example, bump. You can change the radius and the scale. There's box. There's a bunch of different effects, and for me, I really like the gloom effect. So you can change the radius and the intensity of that. That's what I mean by each action may have options. Another thing I mean by that is I might actually have an options button. So for things like adding effects to images, if you click options, you can actually show this action when the workflow runs. It makes it a lot more user-friendly, I guess you could say. So that way, when the workflow is running, the user can actually choose their effect and change these settings. So unless you want to add the same exact effect to all the images that are being run through this workflow, you should show this action when the workflow runs. So that's a really basic workflow. It's as easy as that. I'm going to take a picture of my doc, and I'm actually going to run this workflow by using the run button. Before I run it, I'm going to select the picture, so that way, that's basically the first step, get selected finder items. You have to make sure something's selected. Click run, and it automatically made a copy, so that way the original is preserved. And then here I can choose my effect, change the radius and the intensity. I'll just click continue, leave it at the default, and it's saved as picture 2. And there's the effect. It's really easy, really fast. Now remember, you can make it so it's copied to a specific folder. You can make the new image in a specific folder if you want. I'm not going to go over that. It's really simple though. And the final thing I'll go over for this application is saving your workflow, because that's important. So file, you can go to save as plugin, for say Finder, and that'll make it so it's a right click option. So if I right click, go to more, and then Automator, you'll see that here's a couple of workflows that I've made. Or you can save it as a workflow or an application. The only difference is that a workflow can be opened up in Automator and then edited later, and an application can't. If I saved it as an application, it would have like a little Automator icon, and I could either drag a file into the application, or I can actually launch the application. So that's it for this quick Automator, or I think it's quick, this Automator basic tutorial thing. Oh, one last thing. This is a good website to go to for Automator, automator.us. I'll have a link. And also apples.com/downloads has Automator workflows that you can download that people have made. Thanks for watching.